Is there really a best time or day to play the lottery, or is it all just luck? Powerball jackpots seem to be won more often on Wednesdays, while Mega Millions jackpots show up more frequently on Fridays. Some people swear Fridays bring fortune. Others claim Wednesdays are the real jackpot magnets. But what if the truth is stranger than both the myths and the math? Today, we're diving into research, rumors, and surprising data to reveal whether timing actually matters or if luck is the only game in town. What does research and statistics say? In 2024, statistician Christopher M. Rump published a study that shook the quiet world of lottery mathematics. He asked a question most players never consider, not which numbers to pick, but when to buy a ticket. His answer was both simple and startling. According to his analysis, the best time isn't tied to a day of the week or a particular hour, but to a hidden ratio, when ticket sales reach about 1.25 to 2.5 times the odds of winning the jackpot. Translated into plain language, that means waiting until the jackpot has ballooned large enough that your tiny chance of winning carries just a little more weight. The math suggests that only when the prize pool grows faster than the crowd of buyers does the expected value begin to tilt slightly less against you. In other words, you still face astronomical odds, but you're no longer playing in the absolute worst possible conditions. Of course, that sweet spot doesn't appear often. Jackpots need to roll over multiple times before the ratio comes close to what Rump describes. But when it does, the game shifts, ever so slightly, in your favor. And that's just one piece of the puzzle. Let's look at Chen Yang's study. While Rump's work looks at timing, another group of researchers, Chen, Yang, and Chen, set their sights on the strategies that players swear by. You've probably heard them before. Play the hot numbers, avoid the cold ones, pick diagonals on the ticket, or even never choose birthdays because too many people do. These tricks sound clever, even scientific. But when the researchers ran the numbers, the truth became impossible to ignore. Every combination, no matter how it looks, carries the exact same odds. Hot and cold numbers don't exist in a truly random draw. Patterns, diagonals, lucky birthdays, it's all an illusion created by our brain's craving for order. Statistically, you have the same chance whether you're choosing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the most random mix you can imagine. And yet, people cling to these beliefs because they make the game feel less like blind luck and more like skill. But here's the catch. While strategies don't improve your chance of hitting the jackpot, they can affect something else, whether you end up splitting it. Popular number choices like birthdays mean more shared wins if lightning actually strikes. And that leads us to a surprising twist hidden in the data. What does data really show? If strategies don't matter, what about the day you play? This is where the headlines get intriguing. A Newsweek analysis uncovered a curious pattern. Powerball jackpots seem to be won more often on Wednesdays, while Mega Millions jackpots show up more frequently on Fridays. On the surface, that sounds like a cheat code. Pick the right day, win the big prize. Simple, right? Not so fast. The reality is less magical, more mathematical. Both games have set draw schedules. Powerball on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions on Tuesdays and Fridays. With fewer draws earlier in the week and jackpots snowballing into midweek and weekend territory, the timing of most wins starts to look like a reflection of scheduling and player behavior, not luck. More people buy tickets when jackpots are higher, and those rollovers often happen to land on Wednesday or Friday. Still, these stats feed the myth. When players see headlines screaming about Friday jackpots, they feel drawn to that day, convinced the universe has stacked the odds. It's a powerful illusion, and one that makes the lottery even more addictive. But timing isn't just about days. It also changes depending on the type of lottery you play. Let's look at lottery types and timing differences. What are the best timing for multi-state jackpots, Powerball and Mega Millions? When most people think of winning the lottery, they're dreaming of Powerball or Mega Millions. These multi-state giants are the games that turn headlines into legends, prizes soaring into the hundreds of millions, even billions. But the bigger the jackpot, the bigger the crowd. Every rollover attracts waves of hopeful players, and with each wave, your odds of sharing the prize, if you beat the astronomical odds at all, grow higher. Timing here isn't about random hours or secret rituals. It's about the draw days themselves. Powerball runs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions sticks to Tuesdays and Fridays. The jackpot grows when nobody wins, and history shows that the sweet spots people talk about, Wednesdays and Fridays, line up with rollover patterns and buying frenzies. The illusion of lucky days is really the mathematics of scheduling. Yet here's the catch. The sheer size of these games means they occasionally brush against Christopher Rump's formula, where ticket sales and jackpot odds align just enough to make your tiny chance slightly more appealing. Those moments are rare, but they're what keep people watching jackpots climb and waiting for the perfect time. But not all lotteries work like this. Some play out on a much smaller stage. What are the best timing for state lotteries? Not every lottery is a billion-dollar spectacle. State-run games often fly under the radar, with jackpots that look modest compared to Powerball or Mega Millions. But don't let the smaller numbers fool you. These local lotteries come with their own hidden dynamics. The biggest difference? Fewer players. That smaller pool means less competition. And if you do manage to win, the chance of splitting your prize is far lower. Timing here shifts in a subtle way. Because local lotteries don't generate the same frenzied media buzz, jackpots don't balloon as dramatically. Players tend to buy tickets steadily rather than in massive surges. That makes it easier to spot patterns in rollover behavior, ticket sales, and even entry cutoff times. Some players swear that these quieter games are where you'll find your best bang for the buck, not because the odds are great, but because the noise is lower and the prizes are more likely to stay in one pair of hands. Of course, the trade-off is obvious: smaller prizes. Winning $5 million sounds life-changing until you realize Mega Millions could have been worth $500 million that same week. But when you move from state lotteries to daily draw games, the pace of play accelerates even more. What are the best timing for daily games? Daily games are a different beast altogether. Unlike the towering jackpots of Powerball or the steady rollovers of state lotteries, these draws happen fast, sometimes twice a day. Pick 3, Pick 4, and similar games don't promise life-changing riches, but they lure players with the thrill of immediacy. Buy a ticket in the morning and you might know your fate before dinner. Because the draws are so frequent, the concept of timing takes on a new shape. There's no waiting weeks for the jackpot to grow, no headlines pushing players toward a single high-stakes night. Instead, it becomes about consistency. Some players swear by playing the same numbers daily, convinced that persistence will eventually pay off. Others chase hot streaks, believing that certain numbers cycle back faster in these smaller games. But here's the truth. Mathematically, the odds reset every time, no matter how fast the draws come. The only real timing advantage lies in how often you choose to play. The more tickets you buy across these rapid-fire draws, the more chances you give yourself, though always against steep odds. And if speed isn't enough, there's another category where timing feels even stranger: scratch-offs and instant tickets. What are the best timing for scratch-offs and instant wins? Scratch-off tickets feel like the rebel child of the lottery world. There's no waiting for a draw, no sitting by the TV to watch bouncing balls decide your fate. The outcome is sealed the moment you buy it, and revealed the second you scratch away that silver coating. But does timing play a role here? Surprisingly, yes, though not in the mystical sense players often imagine. Each scratch-off run is printed in advance, with a fixed number of winning tickets scattered among the losers. The odds don't change based on the day or time you buy. What can matter, however, is distribution. If most of the big prizes have already been claimed, the remaining pool becomes less attractive. Some savvy players track state lottery websites that publish how many top prizes are left in circulation. In that sense, the timing of your purchase might come down to catching a batch before the big winners are gone. Others chase freshly stocked rolls, believing the earlier you buy from a new pack, the better your chances of snagging an unclaimed prize. Again, the math doesn't back this up, but the suspense keeps people scratching. And then there are the rarest games of all, raffles and one-time lottery events. What are the best timing for raffles and special draws? Raffles and special lottery events feel like a different universe compared to rolling jackpots or daily draws. These games usually come with a fixed number of tickets, each carrying an equal shot at the prize. No rollovers, no endless waiting. The moment the drawing happens, someone walks away with the winnings. In some cases, that prize can rival even the mega jackpots, making these events magnetic for players who crave certainty. Here, timing isn't about luck at all, it's about access. Since the pool of tickets is limited, the best time is simply before they sell out. Waiting too long means you don't get in at all. On the flip side, unlike Powerball or scratch-offs, once you've secured a ticket, your odds won't change based on when you bought it. Early bird, last-minute buyer, every entry sits on the same footing when the draw finally happens. But raffles carry a hidden allure. Because they're rare, they feel special. The anticipation builds for weeks, sometimes months, until the final reveal. That suspense alone makes players believe timing has more power than it actually does. Still, beyond jackpots and raffle tickets, there's another force driving people toward lucky days: the world of myths and cultural beliefs. Let's look at cultural beliefs and myths. For all the statistics and scientific studies, the lottery has always been wrapped in superstition. Across cultures, people cling to rituals and myths that promise to tilt fortune in their favor. Some insist that Thursdays are blessed days for gambling, while others believe Sunday mornings carry divine luck. Astrologers claim certain planetary alignments make specific dates luckier than others. Psychics and fortune tellers have long offered winning numbers, selling hope disguised as foresight. The rituals don't stop there. Some players always buy tickets at sunrise, believing the first light of day brings prosperity. Others wait until late at night, convinced the quiet hours guard against bad energy. In many communities, lucky charms, birth dates, or even dream symbols are treated as sacred guides. And though these practices have no scientific basis, they add drama, meaning, and mystery to what would otherwise be a cold game of math. What's fascinating is how these myths often grow stronger when jackpots soar. The bigger the prize, the more people search for patterns, rituals, and cosmic signs to justify chasing it. It's human nature. We want to believe luck can be summoned. In the end, is there really a best time or day to play the lottery, or is it all just luck? After peeling back the layers of research, data, myths, and folklore, the answer is clearer than most players want to hear.